There is a kind of tiredness that sleep cannot fix. You lie down at night, your body finally still, but your mind refuses to rest. It replays an old mistake for the 100th time. It rehearses a future that has not arrived. It asks questions that have no answers, and then it asks them again. If you know that tiredness, this story was chosen for you. Because here is a truth the wise have whispered for centuries. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Think about that. Most of the storms that exhaust us never touch the ground. They live only inside our heads. And yet they steal our sleep, our laughter, and our peace as surely as any real disaster. There is an ancient truth that most of us discover only after years of silent suffering. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Think about it. How many of the disasters you feared last year actually happened? How many sleepless nights were spent fighting battles that never came? One old man near the end of his life put it even more plainly. I have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. And yet we keep carrying them. The past we cannot change, and the future we cannot see, until the invisible weight bends our shoulders and steals the light from our eyes. Today's story is about a young man whose greatest enemy was not poverty, not failure, not any person in this world. It was his own restless mind. There is a timeless warning that says, "Rule your mind, or it will rule you." This young man's mind ruled him completely, until one journey, one old tree, and one simple stone changed everything he thought he knew about peace. So stay with me till the very end of the story, because hidden inside it are simple, practical secrets that can quiet the storm inside your head too. And as you listen, ask yourself honestly, is my mind my servant, or has it quietly become my master? Long ago, in a land of green foothills and golden fields, there was a busy trading town full of noise, dust, and hurry. In that town lived a young man who looked much older than his years. His eyes were tired, his shoulders were bent as if he carried an invisible load. From the outside, his life seemed ordinary. He had work, a small room, and a few friends. But inside his head, there lived a storm that never rested. Every morning before the sun touched the rooftops, his thoughts were already awake. What if I fail? What if I have chosen the wrong path? What if my old mistakes have already ruined my future? And every night, when the town finally grew quiet, his mind grew louder. He replayed the trade he had lost, the friend who had cheated him, the chance he had been too afraid to take. Then his mind ran ahead and painted dark pictures of days that had not even arrived. His friends noticed. "You are always somewhere else," they said. "You never laugh anymore. What is wrong with you?" But how do you explain a storm that no one else can see? One day, unable to bear the noise inside his own head, the young man left the town and simply walked. He walked past the fields, past the wells, past the last bullock carts on the road. The sounds of the town slowly faded behind him. By evening, he reached a small village resting in the foothills, a place of mud huts, oil lamps, and slow, gentle life. On a small hill above the village, stood a single old tree, wide and ancient. And under that tree sat an old man. He was not rich, he was not powerful. His clothes were simple and his hands were rough from years of work. Yet, his face carried something the young man had never seen in the town. Not in the merchants, not in the landlords, not in the learned men. His face carried peace. The old man opened his eyes and smiled, as if he had been waiting for a visitor. "You look tired," he said gently. The young man gave a weak laugh. "I have done nothing today." "The heaviest work," the old man replied, "is often done inside the head. Sit." The young man sat. For a long while, neither of them spoke. Strangely, the silence did not feel uncomfortable. It felt like rest. Then, without knowing why, the young man began to talk about his past, his fears, his endless questions. The old man listened, without interrupting, without judging, without once looking away. When the young man finally stopped, the old man picked up a small stone from the ground and placed it in his palm. "Is it heavy?" "No." "Then hold it." A minute passed, then 5, then 15. Slowly, the young man's arm began to shake. "It hurts now," he admitted. "Has the stone become heavier?" "No. I have just been holding it too long." The old man nodded slowly. "Your worries are exactly like the stone. Thinking about a problem for a moment, that is how we learn. But holding the same thought all day, all night, for months, for years." He gently opened the young man's fingers and let the stone fall to the earth. "That is what is breaking you. It was never the weight of your problems, my son. It was how long you refused to put them down." The young man stared at the fallen stone. "But I cannot simply stop thinking," he said. "I have tried. The thoughts always return." "Of course they do," the old man smiled. "You cannot order the wind to stop blowing, but you can learn to notice when it begins." He pointed toward the sky, where gray clouds were gathering far beyond the hills. When a storm comes near, the temple bell rings. The moment the villagers hear it, they are no longer surprised by the storm. They are prepared for it. Your mind needs a bell too. The next time your thoughts begin to spin, do not fight them. Simply say quietly, "I am overthinking." That is all? That is the beginning of everything. A storm loses half its power the moment you give it a name, because in that moment, you are no longer inside the storm. You are the one watching it. And the watcher is always calmer than the storm. That night, the young man slept in the old man's hut. The thoughts came as they always did, but this time, he whispered into the darkness, "I am overthinking." And for the first time in years, the thoughts felt a little smaller than him. At sunrise, he found the old man sitting outside, writing something in the soft dust with a thin stick. "What are you writing?" "My worries," the old man said calmly. The young man blinked in surprise. "You? You have worries?" The old man laughed, a deep, warm laugh. "I am a human being, not a stone idol. My roof needs repair before the rains. An old friend in the next village is unwell. but I do not let my worries wander freely through my day like stray dogs. I give them a home. He tapped the ground. Every evening for a little while, I sit here and I worry properly. I write each problem in the dust. Beside each one, I write what I can do about it. When the time is over, I sweep the dust smooth and I return to my life. And the worries agree to this? The young man asked, half smiling. Worries are like children, said the old man. If you ignore them completely, they cry louder. But if you tell them, not now, I will listen to you this evening, they slowly learn to wait. Most people allow worry to interrupt their whole day. A wise man gives worry an appointment. Later that day, the old man led him through the forest to a wide, still lake. The water was so clear that the clouds floated perfectly upon its surface. The old man filled a clay cup with water. Then he dropped a handful of dry soil into it. The water turned muddy and dark. Would you drink this? Never. Then the old man threw another handful of soil into the great lake itself. Within moments, it vanished. The lake remained clear, calm, untouched. The same soil, said the old man. So what changed? The young man thought carefully. The size of the water. Exactly. The problem was never the soil. It was the size of the vessel. When your mind is small, closed tightly around one fear, one mistake, one insight, every little handful of soil turns your whole life dark. But when you grow your heart larger, through gratitude, patience, and forgiveness, the same problems fall into you and dissolve. How do I grow larger? The young man asked. You are already beginning, the old man said. Every time you sit in silence, every time you thank life instead of blaming it, every time you forgive. The lake did not become large in one day, neither will you. But every day, you can become a little less like the cup. On the way back, they walked beside a river that flowed down from the hills. The old man picked up a dry leaf and placed it upon the water. The current carried it gently away. Try to stop this river with your hands, he said. The young man smiled. That is impossible. And yet, that is exactly how you have been living. Trying to control your past, which has already flowed by. Trying to control your future, which has not yet arrived. Trying to control what people think, what fate decides, how every plan unfolds. You stand in the river with open hands, fighting the water, and then you wonder why you are exhausted. The young man watched the leaf disappear around the bend. Then what should I do? Ask yourself one question, the old man said. It is the simplest question in the world, and it will save you years of suffering. Can I do something about this right now? If the answer is yes, do it. Take one step. Action ends worry faster than any comfort. And if the answer is no, he pointed at the flowing river. Then place it upon the water and let it go. Worrying about what you cannot change is like paying a debt you do not owe. Days passed. The young man stayed in the village, helping the old man repair fences, draw water, and plant young trees. Slowly, his sleep grew deeper. But one evening, the old darkness returned, and he sat with his head in his hands. "Why am I like this?" he said bitterly. "Why can I not simply be happy? Why do I ruin everything?" The old man sat beside him quietly for a long time. Then he said something the young man never forgot. "Do you know the most dangerous word in your sentence? It is the word why, when you point it at yourself like a knife. Why am I a failure? Why can I never be at peace? Such questions have no doors, my son. You can walk inside them forever and never find the way out." Then what should I ask? Change one word. Change why to what. Not why am I like this, but what is one small thing I can do right now? Not why did I fail, but what did it teach me? Why keeps you circling the past? What opens a door into the present? The old man smiled. The mind is a powerful servant, but a terrible master. Give it questions, it can actually answer. One golden evening, they sat under the great tree, sharing simple food from a banana leaf. The young man noticed how the old man ate slowly, gratefully, as if that meal were the only thing in the world. "When you eat," the old man said, noticing his gaze, "do you think about next week's meals? No? Then why do you try to live your whole life in a single day? The past is a closed room. The future is a locked one. The only door that is ever open is this moment." He gestured to the world around them. When the storm begins in your head, return to your senses. Truly, what do you see? Feel the earth beneath your feet. Listen, the wind, the birds, the temple bell. Feel your own breath moving. The mind lives in yesterday and tomorrow. The body lives only in now. When you return to your body, you return to peace. The young man closed his eyes. The wind moved through the old branches. Somewhere, a bird sang. And for a few precious moments, his mind, the machine that had run without rest for years, fell completely still. At last, the day came for him to return to the town. At the edge of the village, he stopped. "The thoughts will come back," he said. "I know they will. What do I do when nothing else works?" The old man placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then do not fight the darkness. Simply light a lamp. You cannot force yourself to stop thinking about something. The harder you push a thought away, the harder it pushes back. So instead of running from your thoughts, walk toward what you love. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me right now? Your family, your work, your health, a friend who needs you? Then take one small step toward it. A mind busy building something meaningful has no room left for destroying itself." He smiled one last time. "Peace is not a place you find, my son. It is a way you walk. Now go and walk it." Years passed. The young man's life did not become perfect. Problems still came, as they come to everyone. But something deep inside him had changed. The problems no longer ruled his mind. When the storm began, he named it. When worry demanded his whole day, he gave it a small appointment at sunset and took the rest of his day back. When something could be solved, he acted. When it could not, he placed it on the river and let it flow. When his mind attacked him with why, he answered with what. When the noise grew loud, he returned to his breath, to the ground, to the moment. And every single day, he took one small step toward the things he loved. Slowly, quietly, the cup became a lake. Many years later, in a garden at the heart of that same busy town, people often noticed an older man sitting peacefully beneath a tree. Tired young men and women, carrying invisible storms of their own, would sometimes sit beside him. And when they asked how he could remain so calm in such a noisy world, he would pick up a small stone, place it gently in their hands, and say with a quiet smile, "Hold this, and let me tell you about a man I once met on a hill." Take a moment and hold this story in your mind, the way the young man held that stone. Notice what it is really telling you. His problems never disappeared. His past did not change. His future remained unknown. The only thing that changed was how long he carried each thought. And that changed everything. Most of our suffering works exactly this way. The stone is never heavy at first. A worry held for a moment is simply thinking. But held for hours, days, and years, it becomes a weight that bends the shoulders and empties the eyes. This is why the wise remind us, let go or be dragged. Life is moving forward, whether we release the past or not. The only choice we have is whether we walk with it or get pulled behind it. The old man's river question may be the most practical piece of wisdom in this entire story. And it echoes an ancient teaching. If a problem can be solved, why worry? If it cannot be solved, worrying will do no good. Try it today. Take the worry that is sitting heaviest on your chest right now and ask, can I do something about this? If yes, take one small step before the sun sets. If no, place it on the river. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. That single habit, practiced daily, quietly reboots a life. And remember the cup and the lake. The soil falling into your life will not stop. Criticism, setbacks, bad news, difficult people. You cannot control the soil, but you can grow the water. Every act of gratitude, every deep breath, every moment of patience and forgiveness makes your inner lake a little wider, until the same problems that once darkened your whole day simply dissolve into you. Here is the deepest truth beneath it all. Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Not a new job, not a new town, not the approval of others. The young man walked far from his noisy town, but the real journey happened inside his own head. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. And that weapon is already in your hands. Name the storm when it begins. Give worry an appointment instead of your whole day. Change your why into what. Return to your breath, your senses, this moment, and walk one small step at a time toward what you love. So, how do you begin? Start with these small practices from the story, today itself. 1. Ring the bell. The moment your thoughts begin to spin, quietly name it. I am overthinking. You instantly step outside the storm and become the calm watcher. 2. Give worry an appointment. Set aside 10 minutes each evening. Write down every worry, and next to each one, write one action you can take. Then close the notebook and take your day back. 3. Ask the one question. Can I do something about this right now? If yes, act. If no, let it flow down the river. 4. Change why to what. Stop pointing questions at yourself like a knife. Give your mind questions it can actually answer. 5. Return to your senses. When the noise grows loud, feel your breath. Feel the ground. Listen to the sounds around you. The body lives only in the present. Follow it there. 6. Grow the lake. Practice a little gratitude, patience, and forgiveness every day. The same problems that darken a small cup dissolve in a large lake. None of this happens in a day. The lake did not become large in one day, and neither will you. But remember this gentle promise from the Zen masters. If you let go a little, you will have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace. Start with a little. Start today. Put down one stone before you sleep tonight, and notice how much lighter the morning feels. Now, I would like to hear from you. What is one worry you have been holding for far too long? And what will you do with it today? Act on it or place it on the river. Share it in the comments below. Your honest words might loosen someone else's grip on their own stone. If this story brought you even a small moment of peace, please like and share this video so it can reach someone who is quietly carrying a storm of their own. And if you would like more stories like this in your life, subscribe to our channel, not for us, but for all of us. So this old wisdom keeps finding the hearts that need it. I will be back again with another powerful story. Until then, be patient, stay grateful, and remember, it was never the weight of your problems. It was how long you refused to put them down.